Hey, today we're going to go over my 5 biggest pros and my 5 biggest cons about living in Sudbury. Stay with us right to the end because I'm going to share my favorite reason for living in Sudbury right at the last one. Hey guys, Dave Curd here. I'm the broker of record with Lake City Realty, and I'm so thrilled that you're joining me today to go over my 5 biggest reasons that I absolutely love Sudbury and the 5 biggest reasons that I kind of hate living here. So today I'm going to be walking you guys through all those reasons. Stay tuned right to the end because that's when I'm going to share my favorite one with you guys. But if you're not subscribed to us, like the video, share the video, just hit that little bell below. That's going to make sure that whenever we release video content, you're going to get it right away. And we're doing our best to get so much content out there to give you all the best parts and the worst parts about Sudbury from now on. So definitely follow us on our YouTube channel. Number 1, the best reason that I think that Sudbury exists and why people love living here, the outdoors. Man, you have 330 lakes within our city that's available to you. The goal of living in Sudbury is to live in that outdoor lifestyle, living on the lake, and that's why I named our whole company Lake City Realty. Having these lakes that are disposable is so amazing. The ability to be 5 minutes away from a beach that you can just hop on a bike and end up on some nice sandy shore in the summer, or even in the wintertime. Science North just opened up their skating path just yesterday. There's this massive skating path that people can stay socially distanced and still get their outdoor skate on the lake. One of the coolest parts about living on the lake in the winter is every single lake has a skating path this year. I know we've got an awesome rink set up in our backyard, and you can go from rink to rink to rink, and all these community neighbors just get together with their snow plows or with their four-wheelers and plow paths between the lakes. Long Lake has probably 10 kilometers of skating path this year. Our lake has probably 4 kilometers. It's so awesome to see that this is happening just organically all throughout the city. So the best reason about living in Sudbury is embracing that outdoors. If outdoors aren't for you, you'll definitely want to stay away. The number 1 reason that I hate living in Sudbury is we are not a walkable city. And sometimes you'll go to Toronto and we'll go visit this nice little pocket of a bigger city like the GTA, and you'll be able to walk to a coffee shop and to a pub and all these different places. That ain't Sudbury. Sudbury definitely is lacking in that category. And if you guys ever follow on realtor.ca and you look at the walkability scores, you'll see that those are severely lacking. It is frustrating, but Sudbury's so spread out. We're a big city that's amalgamated from a bunch of small cities. We're built around all this mining industry, so we've had to blast and we have to drive in winding ways through rocks. We're not built on a grid pattern like some of these bigger cities in the south. So that is the number 1 reason that people are going to be frustrated about living here. Number 2, reason to love Sudbury, we're the big city vibe with a small town living feeling. I feel like I'm in an old 70s pop song or something like that, just a small town boy. But it feels so awesome to have this big city mentality where we have the big box stores, the Costco's, the Home Depot's, the Lowe's. We have these big amenities, but yet we still have small town living here. And in a city that's under 200,000 people, that's what we can get. And not only just the cities under 200,000 people, a lot of people live in the little outlying communities like Lively where I live. That's an even smaller community of less than 10,000 people. So you definitely have that small town living with the big city vibe. And being the hub of the north and being kind of almost the capital of Northern Ontario, we attract all these people coming in from all over Northern Ontario. So that again reinforces that feeling that we are that hub city. But at the same time, 4 hours away from a Raps game, a Jays game, a Leafs game, or 1 hour flight if you're hopping on Porter when we are able to fly in and out of the Porter Airport. The second reason that people are going to hate on Sudbury is going to be our downtown core. And it's frustrating and it hurts me because I do love our downtown core and I try to be there and support it as best as I can, but I can see why the hate's on. And there's a couple of streets that have done a really amazing job, I think, to really push back against the stereotype of the downtown core. And I know I love hopping from the Buddha to Little Montreal, to the Townhouse, to the Fromo. So there is a lot of little pockets of some awesome opportunities to get downtown and see it for what it is. But if you're down on a Sunday morning or something like that, it might be just a deserted place, what it can feel like. And I know a lot of my friends that will stay away from it in the evenings as well, kind of thing. So it's frustrating to see, but it is going to be the reality. And there's some amazing local business owners that are really trying to make a push to revitalize it. The downtown arena, which I love to go to myself. I'm a Sudbury 5 ticket holder. I love supporting the Sudbury Wolves. And that's in the downtown core now. Now there's a lot to talk, and they decided to relocate it, and now they're pushing back on that. So that's all up in the air right now, but that's going to make a big impact on what happens in the downtown core in Sudbury. The third reason to love living in Sudbury is the local brew scene. We're getting better and better and having a little bit more of traction with some local breweries. It started with Stack Brewery about five plus years ago now, and they've got an awesome setup and some great local beers that are available in the LCBO. But now Optimus breweries out there. My favorite 46 North is out there. The Tandy at 46 North is my favorite beer to drink anywhere, and that's available at these local scenes. Not just the beer scene, but we also have the hard alcohol scene with Crosscut, who's made such amazing progress and really carved out a niche for themselves in the Northern Ontario Northern Ontario pride in that hard alcohol space. So definitely check that out. It's been an amazing to see that the Northern Ontario has really embraced this local brewery scene, even to the point of, in a non-COVID year, we did the local beer fest that they'll host every year, where they bring together all these small little brewers together for a big celebration where we can go taste all the samples and really get a feel for what brews are being made in Northern Ontario. So check that out. I'm sure it's going to be around next year if we can kind of, do our part to make sure that the flat lines with our COVID, and we can, start to get the vaccine spread throughout Ontario. The third reason to hate on Sudbury, it's the pictures of that smokestack, the smokestack's the second biggest smokestack in all of the world. I think the first biggest one's in Russia, and a lot of people look at that and just think of it as this city of pollution, and we're just nothing but rock, and there's that. It happened that when astronauts were training to go to the moon, they actually came to Sudbury to prepare because it was such a barren pile of rock. And one of our most popular neighborhoods is all built around that right now, with Moonglow and Jupiter Street and Crater Street. So they kind of cheekily played on that a little bit. But it's not that way anymore, and we've really revitalized and regreened our city over the last 45 years especially. Vale's done a massive push to go in and really to do a regreening effort in the last 5 years even, and there's no longer using that massive smokestack, and they're talking about bringing that down in the future. But I love it. I know a lot of my family, my friends' wedding pictures feature that smokestack prominently in the background of their wedding pictures, because it's just such a picture that summarizes Sudbury. And whether you I can see the hate on it, but for me it stands out, and it's something that I love seeing, and it's that stamp of approval that that's a Sudbury picture that you can never take away from us. The fourth reason that I think Sudbury is such an awesome place to live is the schools. A lot of people are going to get introduced to Sudbury for the first time when they're in graduate or in post-secondary, where they're going to be either going to Laurentian University, which is a fantastic university. It's my alma mater as well, where I met my wife, so it's clearly got to be a great space. There's a great college at Cambrian College, and there's even a French college as well, Collège Boréal. So we have such amazing opportunities, and they really do a good job of trying to tie their program unique to the north. We're great around the mining industries. We're great. They're really trying to make a big push as Sudbury is the next tech city that's focused on mining. The Silicon Valley of the North is what I know there's a push to be kind of branding the city as well as that research corridor that leads all the way up right across from my building on Walford, all the way down Ramsey Lake Road. There's so many amazing research jobs that are handed out, and so many research studies that are going on that are tied to the university as well. So I think that's a fantastic opportunity. But it's not just the universities and the colleges. It's from the grade schools. RLBD a few years ago, according to the Fraser Institute, was ranked tied for #1 in all of Ontario. The all-girls school Marymount was constantly in the top 25, 30 on those Fraser rankings as well. So we do a great job across the board of having some amazing education opportunities in Sudbury. Number 4 reason why Sudbury is going to be hated on, and I can't deny this one. It's minus 25 out there today. I wore my Canada Goose bundled up this morning on getting nice and warm just before I even hopped out my door with my coffee to hop in the car. It's a cold city. And if you're not one to embrace the cold and embrace that outdoors, man, you're gonna hate living here. If you can wrap your head around getting outside even when it's minus 25 out, you're gonna love it. And again, pushing back to why Sudbury's such a great spot with that outdoors, but the outdoor rinks, the outdoor skating paths, the cross-country skiing available, the snowshoeing that's available. Heck, there's so many opportunities to get outside and really enjoy being outside. But if you hate the cold, Sudbury's gonna suck for you. So number 5 reason, and actually I think it's the number 1 reason in my mind why Sudbury is such an amazing place to be, especially right now, 2021, when I'm filming this video, is affordability. I get all these people in Sudbury saying, oh my gosh, look at how expensive our houses are. But an average price of a house in Ontario just hit $600,000 just last month. An average price of a house in Sudbury is $350,000. And I know people spending $600,000 in Sudbury are getting a dream house on the lake. So there's so many opportunities to take whatever budget you have in Southern Ontario, put that budget up into Sudbury, and get so much more bang for your buck. The idea of work from home, and it's not going to be a permanent thing, but that hybrid model maybe in the future, be able to work from home and really truly enjoying your space, having a family that you can expand outside, not just having a detached home, but having a home on a nice sized lodge and a detached garage and access to snow machine trails and all these things. This is what Sudbury's going to give you for a budget half of what the average price point of a house in Ontario is. So that's the number 1 reason I think that Sudbury is truly attractive to a lot of people that are looking to relocate here right now. The last but not least reason to hate on Sudbury, and this is probably one of my most frustrating parts about Sudbury, a lot of people say we have 2 seasons. We have winter and we have construction season. And as soon as that snow starts going in, it will take a while for that snow to go. Usually we have some bets with people in our office when the snowbanks are going to disappear. That's when the construction season starts up. And man, I went over earlier on how Sudbury is not the greatest laid out city, and we're not quite at grid lines. There's a couple different ways to get across the city, and usually construction's happening at all those points at all the time. We're an industrial city, so we've got big trucks that are driving on our roads. We get frost wreaking havoc with those roads as well, so the amount of potholes that are on our roads are, it's astronomical. And I've been in a position where my first car, I ended up denting a few rims because of how bad the roads were. So construction season is going to happen in Sudbury. It's going to be frustrating, but it's going to be there. But hopefully you can see enough of those positives on our list for that to win out and truly enjoy living in Sudbury. So thanks for tuning in, guys. I'm trying to share as much advice and information as I can about Sudbury videos. I'm hoping that you're following that link below us. Like, share, subscribe this video, and every time we put out another video about living and loving Sudbury, you're going to be notified about that video right away. So thank you for tuning in today, guys, and I can't wait to see you next time.